Do I know anything about whiskey? We're about to find out. What's going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you guys a brand new video. Today we have a very interesting video in store. One of my loyal subscribers and amazing patrons, Marc, has sent me over a completely random blind. Now what he wants me to do with this is something similar to what the Bourbon Junkies do. So here inside of this envelope is the instructions and rules on to follow what exactly I have to do. As you can see, each of these sample bottles is labeled with a letter, and I do not know what those are. The only way I will find out what those are is once I open the answer key. So the answer key is over here letting me know what those are, but right here he's written a nice little note that I'm going to read for you guys. Greetings from another fellow East Coaster. Here's a blind of the 5 whiskeys I am enjoying right now. Well, Marc, I'm going to let you know if you're drinking good bourbon, I guess. If you want, you can make a little game out of this with friends or use it for some content. Well, here we are making it with some content. It's set up very similar to how I have seen a certain YouTube duo do pour guesses, i.e. the Bourbon Junkies. Great guys over there. At the bottom of this box is the answer key. Use this as the following scoring. 3 points for the correct type. I'm assuming there's either bourbons, ryes, scotches, and Irish in this mixed up. I'm not quite sure. That's what I'm going to assume. Proof points. 5 points for getting this correct. 1 point for being within 5 proof points. If it's finished, if I get that correct, that's 2 points. If it's finished in what? That's 5 points. Age, 2 points. And enjoy the samples and keep doing what you do. Thank you very much, Marc. Right here we have the key for the 5 samples. Before we get into these samples though, I just want to thank you guys so much for the love and support. We just hit 2,800 subscribers, and I can't thank you guys enough. You really want to know what that 5,000 subscriber giveaway is, because, like I've been saying, at 3,000 subscribers, I'm letting you know. So, make sure you guys are smashing that subscribe button if you are brand new to the channel and are enjoying the content, because that is only less than 200 subscribers away. But without further ado, let's get into Glass A. Smells sweet, smells like it's got some honey in there. And I will let you know what everything is about this on the screen. I have no idea, but you will know as I am sipping this. Say this is Bardstown, you know, and I have no idea, but I'll let you know what the finish is, the proof point, the age. I'll let you know absolutely everything about this specific glass and the glasses going forward. It's got some peanut aspect to it, which makes me lean towards Evan Williams, sometimes an Elijah Craig. I got peanuts on the nose too. This is also the first drink of the day. Okay, so type bourbon. Proof, wow. It's so difficult to narrow down a proof when it's the first one of the day. But I'm gonna say proof, 90 proof. Finished, no. Finished in what? Nothing. And I will say over 5 years aged. And then notes, I'm gonna put big peanut. All right, so A sample has been tasted. You have all of my notes on the screen on everything that I think that this bourbon might be. We're gonna move on to glass number 2. This smells like a rye. This smells like a rye. I'm gonna put type rye. It's 100% a rye, but it does taste like it's finished in something. I'm gonna say port, finished in port barrels. Proof, I'm gonna go with another low one. I'm gonna say like 95 proof. Age, I'll say over. I'm gonna go with 8 years. Notes, dark, sweet, with a little bit of a mint. I like this one a little bit more than the second one there. All right, moving on to sample glass number 3, which is sample C. That's a higher proofer. That is a bourbon though. Bourbon, I feel like this one is like 116-ish proof. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Barrel Vantage. So I'm gonna go off of that, my initial instinct on that. I'm gonna say yes, finished in multiple barrels over multiple age statements. It had this slight minerality to it that made me think of a barrel product because they source it from Dickel. Yeah, I get this little bit of mineraliness on the back end of my tongue there. Very interesting. But glass number 4. Glass 4 tastes like it might be a Boo Rye. I'm gonna say Boo Rye. I'm gonna say 90 proof. Finished, no. Age, 4 years. It reminds me of Lost Monarch a little bit. Put that in my notes. Reminds Me of Lost Monarch. And let's finally move on to letter E. Mark, thank you so much for this. This is a freaking blast. I love doing these kinds of things. Full, complete blinds, absolutely knowing nothing about what is in each glass. Super, super fun. This doesn't smell like a bourbon or a rye. That's grassy. What is that? This one's coming out of left field compared to the other four. What are you doing to me, dude? It's lemony, it's honey. It's so light. It's so light. It's so different. Wow. I don't know if you threw in like something different than a bourbon or a rye. You know, I'll go out on a limb and I'll say it's a scotch. I'll say it's a scotch. And watch me be completely wrong. Like this is probably like Buffalo Trace or some shit, you know what I mean? This one right here, it's throwing me off on a loop compared to the other four. Low proof, I'll say, I'm gonna go with like, I wanna say 86 proof. Finished, yes, in some kind of wine barrel. I'll say port again, finished in a port barrel. And if it's a scotch, I'm gonna have to say over, and you know, I'll say a 12-year. Honey forward is, this honey forwardness is making me think that it's a scotch. Well, I am excited to find out what these are. So, here are my final notes. You will see what everything is for each glass, but I am excited to find out what these are. So without further ado, let's get into our answer key and see if I got anything right out of all 5 of these samples. All right, here we go. Sample A, type, straight bourbon whiskey. Proof, 115.6. Finished, no. Aged, a minimum of 2 congressional terms, so 4 years. The representative, bottled by Proof and Wood Ventures in Bardstown, Kentucky. Let's move on to sample B. It is a rye, so that is 3 points. 1 point for getting the proof, so yes. Finished, yes, 2 points. Finished in port barrels. Wow, there we go. Okay, so 5 points for that. 2 years, so I was way off on the years. So, all right, so sample C we're moving into now. Sample C is a bourbon whiskey. Proof, 123. I said 116, so I was a little off on that. Finished? No. I said yes. Wow, okay, so this was the Blue Note Juke Joint Uncut, Unfiltered Single Barrel from Mash and Journey Whiskey in collaboration with fellow whiskey tubers Stuff and Whiskey, barrel number 18,102. So this was sample C, aged 4 years. And I said multiple age statements, so I only got 3 points on C. All right, now we're moving into sample D. And sample D, wow, I was so off. Sample D is a straight bourbon whiskey. I said it was a Boo Rye at 90 proof. I don't know why I thought this was so low in proof. It's so smooth. At 114.7 proof, it is finished. I said it wasn't finished. 5 years and 6 to 12 months in used cognac, ponchons. I said 4 years. It's 5.5 to 6 years. And it's a Doc Swanson's Exploratory Cask L'Esprit Batch 22-006 bottle 0149. Reminded me a lot of the Lost Monarch. Let's move into sample E. I said it was a scotch at 86 proof, finished in port barrels at 12 years old, very honey forward. And sample E was a wheat whiskey, bottled at 100 proof, way off on the proof, finished, yes, in Spanish Oloroso sherry casks. I said port barrels for 12 years, and this one was 4 years and finished for 1 year in Spanish Oloroso sherry cask. That wheat brought a lot of that honey, which I sometimes get in a Highland Scotch, so that's why I really thought that this one was, obviously it's a single grain whiskey, being wheat, but it wasn't the barley that a lot of the Scotches are. Dude, this was so much fun. Holy cow. That was a lot of fun. Guys, if you have something that you want to do similar to this to send to me for me to do a video on, I enjoy these videos and making these videos and doing fun blinds like this, like you wouldn't believe. So if you enjoyed this one, drop your like. If you've ever had any of these specific whiskeys, let me know. But until next time, this has been Nathan with the Everyday Drinker. Cheers.